Okay, number 6 now, if I'm keeping track correctly. As fast as I cut one off right now, guys, I'm just jumping right into it again and starting it up again, sort of thing, because I want to get through this as fast as I can. Oh my, I wish I could get this stuff out in just 10 minutes. It's very, very frustrating. What would work better for me, see, is if I could devote an entire hour or more to really get into this sort of stuff well, and be able to upload an hour-long video, and you know, because then I can get into my flow of thoughts there properly, sort of thing, and not have to, you know, chop it up this way and try to jump back into it, sort of thing. Still August the 22nd, Saturday, August 22nd. It is now, oh my God, the morning is progressing so freaking fast there. 12:22 in the early afternoon now. So that's Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, at 12:22 in the early afternoon. So yeah. So I mean, so it just doesn't happen in real life that I'm aware of. I'd be very, very surprised that you know, you could have that sort. What would be more realistic? And this is not necessarily a high praise for guys in general, but it seems to be our biological makeup or whatever. What would be more possible to happen is that if you have interest in a straight guy, okay, and he is straight and he acknowledges himself as being straight and not interested in other guys whatsoever, because men are so, what do I say? We're very tactile, you know, like we're very visual and we're very tactile, sort of thing, and we do like to have those physical experiences regardless, sort of thing. We do like to experience the physical sensations and all that sort of stuff, and we do act very much visually on things. That seems to be our biological makeup regardless of whether you're gay or straight, but that doesn't seem to change much with men. And this is probably why men focus so much on visual material and so on, that, you know, rather than with women it's written material and it's like the intellectual stuff, you know, mental stimulation or whatever. With guys it's the visual and physical stimulation. But I think that's well known in science and so on and so forth, biology, that this, you know, seems to be the way men function as opposed to the way women function in general. You know, so what would possibly, I'm against my stove here too now. I'm doing this right in the corner of my countertop here, guys. I got the stove behind me and I'm really blocked in here, sort of thing, just to find the right spot to sit and be comfortable to do this, sort of thing. What would be more likely to happen is that you might get a straight guy that would allow you to, I don't know a tactful way of saying it. It's really a good thing that I've got this sort of stuff. I'm uploading it as adult material, because I guess it wouldn't be much point for any kids to come in on something, even though I would hope it would be somewhat enlightening for them, educational, but whatever. They might be willing to allow you to have, you know, oral intercourse, whatever, like oral sex with them. You know, you know what I'm trying to say there, guys. You know, they, because I've heard of this sort of thing. You hear about it all the time. You know, I'm not gay. You know, I've no interest in guys, but I'm horny here right now, sort of thing. I want to get my release, sort of thing. So come on, do me, sort of thing. Get it over and done with, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's nothing new there, guys. We know that this kind of stuff goes on all the time. And so if the gay guy has a really strong, intense attraction toward the other guy, he might just go ahead and just do that and blah, 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 and that be nothing more to it and that sort of thing. Not very good for the guy that's got the interest in the other guy, sort of thing, because, you know, it's you're wanting that individual on all the various levels that would be involved in a relationship, and all he's just content with was just getting his rocks off, sort of thing, you know, and going his merry old way and forgetting about you otherwise, sort of thing, you know. So it's kind of like rather degrading for the individual that's attracted to the straight guy as well, you know, maybe almost even more so in some respects, because the gay guy is not going to get anywhere near the level of satisfaction that he wants. because he's not getting the guy the way he wants to get the guy, and he's just kind of being used for that one little thing sort of thing, and just sort of thrown to one side and forgotten about otherwise sort of thing, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that if that were to be shown in these shows, these series, that would probably, as distasteful as it may be, that would still probably be a little more accurate to what happens in real life. You know, otherwise you do not have, by and large, straight men eventually turning gay and coming across for the gay guy that's shown interest in him. Now, on this, he is latently gay anyway, and discovers that throughout some point in the association that he has the attraction after all, and then yes, I mean, then he might start coming around and just acknowledging himself as being maybe bisexual or whatever, you know. But I mean, if the guy considers himself 100% straight, then it just doesn't happen, you know. And like I said, if anything, it could eventually result in the gay guy getting the crap beaten out of him by the straight guy that sees this as being his only option to get the other guy off his back, sort of thing. You know, that's what would likely happen in real life. You know, so showing these things continuously of bisexual men and straight men kind of like coming across for gay guys, and getting into these deep emotional relationships with gay guys and all the rest of it, I would say it really is a very strong fetish within this particular community of ladies that would like to see that happening. But my God, I as a gay man would certainly love to see it happening, but you would almost have to change the other person's basic biology and everything or whatever, the way they function on a very deep fundamental level for that kind of stuff to happen. Because I mean, there's more to sexual attraction than meets the eye, and it's not discussed. I mean, even in these series, you know, it could be discussed more about sexual orientation in general. It's never delved into in a deep, meaty kind of way that it should be for the whole of society to understand sexual attraction in general. You know, so you know, that's it's the force thing. It's the straight guys coming over for the coming across for the gay guys, getting into these deep relationships when that just first hardly ever happens in real life. And then it's this other thing, guys, that I'm thinking is probably one of the most important things that should be brought up. Is this how do I explain this tactfully now? Is this forcing yourself on another fellow almost to the point of practically raping him, sort of thing? I find it odd that straight women would fetishize about that a lot, but it kind of seems as though you do, oddly enough, because you seem to focus a lot on it in your series and so on that, and I find that I mean, you know, like, given women's issues with rape in general, and how we are trying our best to discourage that sort of thing in society in general, because, you know, no one wants unwanted, you know, sexual advances toward them, sort of thing, and somebody forcing themselves on you to the point that, you know, you're not even having any say over your own body, sort of thing. Like, no one wants that. Women have never wanted that, and so I find it really fascinating and odd that the women that write this material focus so much on forced sex to the point that you would almost consider it to be, you know, a rape sort of thing. And so I almost think that like, that should kind of start to be played down a bit more in these theories, because like, that doesn't happen in real life, guys. Like, I'm not going to say that men haven't raped other men. I mean, I'm sure it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all. But like, please, for heaven's sakes, don't think that this sort of thing is the norm within normal behavior within the gay world. Men just don't go around raping one another left, right, and center. You know, like, it doesn't happen. You know, it's hard for me to speak for every single gay man in the whole friggin' world, obviously, you know, but from what I'm aware of the gay world and so on, that, you know, from what I've seen myself and so, I mean, you could want a guy pretty darn bad, but you're not going to force yourself on him to the point that you're practically raping him, because again, it's vastly different between two men and a man and a woman. Any time a guy tries to force himself on another guy, you run the risk of getting yourself beaten to a pulp. If that other guy is able to pick up for himself to an extent at all, if he's any bit physically fit at all, if he can hold his own with you physically at all, you know, you really do run the risk of getting beaten up for forcing yourself on a guy that way. Whereas when it's done with women, unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, it doesn't play out quite the same way. A woman can't pick up for herself and defend herself quite the same way, you know. So the scenario kind of plays out a little differently, unfortunately. But with men, no. It just doesn't happen, guys, you know. So that's something that you need to kind of like not focus on quite so much as well, you know, if you can help it. Okay, going to end it off there. I guess, oh my, I don't know if I should do a couple more or not. Okay, guys, take care. God bless. Out for now.